Hey everyone, I'm just here with Ali, a very, very talented entrepreneur who's just been through our 5-day retreat. Ali, it was wicked to witness your journey. Tell me, how was it for you driving here and arriving here?
It was a long drive, a lot of time to think. Actually, on the drive up, I re-listened to the Backbone audiobook, just to sort of re-familiarise myself, and I didn't want to cause too much chaos in my head by listening to like the radio or the news or anything like that. I was kind of, as soon as I'd left the house, I'd kind of committed to leave the world behind. So I did try to be present-ish on the drive up, but my main thoughts around the retreat were just like, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, like in terms of an itinerary, and also like to me as a person. There was a lot of unknowns. I wasn't necessarily anxious so much because you and I have spoken a few times before, and I trust you. Yeah. So I was there was a bit of me that like I'm excited and nervous, but I also like I'm just going to go with whatever you throw at me. I was quite open-minded with it.
Oh, good. And what was it like not having your phone for 5 days? Because you lose your phone a lot for business, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's one of the big things that I've actually checked out from this is that I need to change my relationship with my phone. And where I do use my phone a lot for work, it's easy for me to put those excuses in my mind when I find myself scrolling. Yeah. I can tell myself it's for work when it's not, so that's definitely a boundary that I need to put in place. But actually, after the first hour, it was like freedom. That felt really free.
Yeah. Talk to me about the journey you've had here and how, in relation to the brotherhood that we created, talk to me about how you experienced brotherhood here.
It's hard to explain. As I didn't have a brother growing up. Like I've got a sister, and I wasn't one of those boys who had a sister that longed to have a brother. There's quite a lot of feminine energy in my house, and I was alright with that. And coming here and actually just going through the same experience, but people were getting very different things out of it. I think it's just like the trust and bond that we built. Like, I mean, we've finished now and it's been 5 days. Like, to think how well I know those guys in 5 days is ridiculous. And actually, like, the bond was created within 24 hours. Yeah. Because I think some of the transformations that people have had, and especially with me, there are a lot of things, without saying too much, where you require us to kind of let loose and kind of take the bullshit filter off and not give a fuck about what anybody around you thinks. Like, so there's actually leaning into that, trusting that there is no judgment. And for there to be no judgment, you kind of need to see other people letting loose so that you can follow suit. And that all happened quite quickly. And to the point where, you know, you trust these guys enough to be vulnerable or do things or share things with them that you've never shared or done in front of anybody else before. Like within like a day and a half, we had that level of trust.
So for you, witnessing other men being courageous helps you to feel safe?
100%, yeah. It felt like permission, like seeing other people. I mean, there were certain instances where I went first, which then helped other people follow. But there were definitely other things where, just seeing guys lead each other by example, basically, like that definitely did create a very trusting and safe space. Like, we've all shared a lot, and I know none of us have signed any legal documents with each other, but I know that none of those 20 guys will share anything that I've shared with them outside of these like 4 walls. I just know that off of trust.
Yeah, feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What was your highlight or your greatest insight during the retreat?
the breathwork session this morning with Matt was
cosmic.
I was out of this world. Like I've never experienced anything like that. The bits of breathwork that I've done have never had anywhere near that sort of effect on me. Like I felt that in like every ounce of my body and my heart and soul. It was
a deep embodied feeling.
That's
right?
like that was.
Now you know what the word embodied.
Exactly. Yeah, you used
like,
the word embodied a lot, but there was a point towards the end of it where he asked us all to lie down, and I was still sitting down, and I just couldn't. I was just sort of stuck in that. Where you mentioned the word like formless a couple of times, and at that point I was like, I don't know if I am lying down or not. Even though I was still sat, but I was like, I'm not. I was that aware and unaware of my body that I was just somewhere else. That was just almost like euphoric, that experience then. But that, in terms of like a trauma release or something like that, that probably wasn't the most poignant bit for me. That was just the most crazy experience. I think for me it was Rory's first session about the inner child. That hit me the hardest. It didn't have the same embodiment impact on me, but it definitely helped me unlock something that I wasn't aware of.
Okay. So what are you taking away with you? How might your life be upgraded now or different?
I think the main thing for me is where I juggle a couple of businesses and different responsibilities, that I can become a bit misguided with where I'm spending my time or what and who I'm putting boundaries in place in. So a little bit of a kind of like the structure side of it, but also knowing, kind of stepping into that king and warrior role of like actually being the one at the top that is calling the shots, delegating better, and not just from a point of power, almost like training and empowering better the people that work underneath me, so that they can do a better job. And because I am becoming aware that as I've had to delegate more, I haven't been embodying some of these qualities that I think people I've met here and friends would say I have about me. I don't necessarily think the people who work for me would say that as well. So I think I can probably be quite quick to just give people a yes or no answer that are underneath me, whereas actually if I was leading better in line with all of these sort of, I'd be able, when it's a no, I'd be able to guide them a little bit better or support them a bit better so that they can do a better job. So I definitely want to bring that into that, and just bring in some of these things into my daily practice, because I do feel just a lot lighter, like moving away from like the trappings of modern life for the quick dopamine hits, whether that's scrolling on social media or grabbing something sugary just to distract me, or there's I think a distraction, removing distraction by becoming a bit more centered, I think is the biggest thing that I'm actually going to use like on a daily basis.
And now you've got a toolbox.
100%, yeah. I'm just, there's parts of me that's just like raring to get on with like my new life. I'm just like, it's going to be awesome. Like plan out what next week's going to look like and what I'm going to like. You know, I'm going to actually live really near a Buddhist centre that I've never been to. So that's definitely something I'm going to.
Amazing.
I know that they do meditation and breath work and yoga and Reiki and sound baths and stuff like that. So I'm really keen to get my hands on their timetable, because it's like a 5-minute walk from my house and I've never been.
And finally, what would you say to any man that is considering coming on a future retreat?
This is essential men's work. Like, don't think that this isn't for you, because you can't demographically profile the group of men that were here.
No. There
was all different ages, races, sizes, shapes, income brackets, classes, backgrounds, people from state schools, people from council estates, people from public schools, people from mixed schools, people from all boys schools. Like, there was every type of man represented here. So it's easy to look at something like this and say, this isn't for me, but there isn't a man in this country that can't benefit from doing this. It is essential mental work. And it's the way that you guys put it on, it's accessible for someone who's never done any kind of mental work.
Of course.
Like, that's the main thing, I think. Like, there were a mix of people here who, you know, some guys have done loads of retreats before and run retreats themselves, right through to people who are halfway through their first personal development book, and then they've gone, you know, balls deep in this retreat.
Of course. Okay, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, it's been epic to know you better,
Yeah.
to feel you better, and the world is a better place with you in it. Safe journey on, brother.
Cheers, brother. Oh, thank you so much.